Well, not every single person in here is extremely young. There's a pal of mine, John Bevan, there, who's even older than me. But it's true that the majority of people here are young, and the majority of people on the demonstrations are young, and that's our greatest asset. We have mobilized young people in huge numbers and all over the world, which is the reason I'm optimistic. You should not be pessimistic. In fact, when I started in this struggle in 1975, you could have fitted all the supporters of the Palestinians in the whole of Britain into this room, and had room for several elephants at the back. It was a very hot potato indeed to say that you supported the PLO in 1975. Now we are millions, tens of millions in this country, and hundreds of millions of people around the world. So actually you have nothing at all to fear, because the media knows, even if it ignores it, the political class knows, even if for the moment they ignore it, the Israelis know that actually there is a giant, enormous swing in public opinion in the world, and even in the United States, and most importantly, in the United States. The movement for boycott, divestment, and sanctions in the United States is growing apace. Public opinion in the United States, even before this latest crisis, had moved into a position where a majority of Americans thought that the United States was either too close to or far too close to Israel. 55% said so. This change in public opinion has been going on since 1982. I'm in a position to chart that and testify to that. Since the invasion of Lebanon in 1982 and the massacres of Sabra and Shatila, the bank balance, public opinion, political capital of Israel has been running down. It's hard for you to remember, but some of us are old enough in here to remember when Israel was a really popular country. Left-wing people left university and went to go and live on kibbutz and thought that they were practicing socialism. We pointed out at the time that the kibbutz are to socialism as a group of thieves agreeing to share their spoils equally, but not many people saw it that way. Trade unions, almost all of them, had the closest possible relationship with the Israeli trade unions. And Israel seemed like a really hip, swinging, liberal place in an Arab world that people saw as backward and reactionary. In the 1960s and even into the 1970s, Israel was enormously popular in the world. Now it is the most unpopular country in the world. And as I said on Saturday, people still move, yes, for Israel, but in Shakespeare's words, they move not out of love. They move out of interest, and interests can change and are changing. Even Kerry, just before he went on to make that ludicrous statement that Israel was under siege by the Palestinians, was caught on tape, though not on air, cursing the Israeli attack on Gaza. That's their real attitude. We have to turn that real attitude into their public attitude. Or just a year or two ago, maybe more, Sarkozy and Obama were caught similarly on tape discussing Netanyahu. And Sarkozy said, thinking the mic was not live, "I can't stand to look at Netanyahu's face, he's such a liar." And Obama said, "You can't stand to look at his face. What about me? I have to deal with him every day." That's their real attitude. And I happen to know, because long before he was president, I have personally talked to Obama on a demonstration for fully 25 minutes about Palestine. And he told me that the late and great Professor Edward Said schooled me, educated me on every aspect of this conflict. So he doesn't have the alibi the last guy did of being an imbecile. Obama knows very well what the truth is. So all over the world, public opinion is with us and swinging massively with us. And this horrific series of massacres and killings can only have hastened the day when the real attitude of our leaders becomes the actual public attitude. The gentleman in the front, yeah.